Three, two, one. All right. I'm really thrilled to bring this gentleman to our community here today. And the reason why is because, well, for a lot of different reasons. If you're going to lead with content and education, it takes a certain, we often say a heart of a teacher, right? And to lead with quote unquote value. We've also said that when you lead with education, the people who value education are attracted to you. And I want to thank one of our fellow members here, Ryan Hillard, for introducing me to you, Jerad Larkin. Ryan, I'm sure you're here. I saw you, but I can't see you because of my small laptop view here. But I want to thank you for that. So Jerad Larkin, who is Jerad Larkin? He is the Mile High Title guy. And if anybody is friggin' doing personal branding classes like at a level that is impressive as hell, and you go, wow, how does this guy do this? I just want to hear to learn from Jerad. And so I've got my questions laid out. But everybody, let's give a word welcome to Jerad Larkin, Mile High Title guy out of Denver, Colorado.
Thanks for having me. Stoked to be here.
Yeah, let's do this. Just a quick background, or just for quick context. I'm going to kind of lead the conversation. Everybody knows the drill who've been here before. You have questions you're going to want to ask in the chat or just unmute. But Jerad, how long have you been in the title business?
Almost 8 years.
Almost 8 years. Okay. Anything you want to share with the group based on what you've heard and that kind of setup before we get into me actually hitting you with some questions?
It's been a grind getting here.
I'll leave it puppy there. Dogs and butterflies.
No.
I mean, see, that's what's interesting is the title business is hard, right? Like, and here's what's cool. You have the same challenge that we in this room have, is we need to get attention from real estate agents. We need to get engagement. We need to build trust. Oh, by the way, are there other title reps to choose from in your backyard? Yes. So there's a lot of similar challenges that we have. How do we get that engagement? How do we get awareness? How do we get deals? How do we stay relevant and valuable? And for some reason, you tell me, is the tip of the spear for you classes in terms of how you do all that?
100%. Yeah, I got into title about 8 years ago and I knew I had to do something. Am I going to cold call? Am I going to, I don't know, do the pop buys? Am I going to do whatever? I mean, I tried everything, but classes are my bread and butter, no doubt.
How did you come upon that decision? How did you land there?
I fell into title insurance about 8 years ago and I knew nobody, right? And title insurance business is a very high volume business. I always say if you want to be successful in title insurance here in the Colorado market, you need to be closing at least 100 transactions per month. It's a lot of deals. I've got anywhere from clients that send me 1 deal a year to 5 to 10 deals a month and everything in between. And you got to get in front of people. I tried cold calling. I tried pop buys. I tried everything under the sun, networking. I never was exposed to any sort of sales training until I got into this role. I took a sales training course called 90 Day Sales by a guy named Bruce Lund. And that's what opened up my eyes to what he called showcase events. And I said, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be a guy at the end of the day, I sell title insurance for Chicago Title, but I'm going to help real estate professionals with their marketing.
All right. What do you want to share about how that went? The old social media, how it started, how it's going. Give us the brief, how it started and how it's going now.
All right, let's go. Got into title insurance 2017. I always knew I had to do something. Title insurance, right, guys? As much as I believe Chicago Title is an incredible title company, and we do a fantastic job, and we're the oldest, largest title company in North America. What it really comes down to is most real estate professionals see the title insurance industry as a commoditized industry. We're so darn regulated. Pricing is about the same. We have to provide great service. You can't screw up, right? And the truth is, it's no different from the lending space, right? Is if someone's happy with ABC, XYZ, whoever, right, title company, why should they talk to me? The truth is they shouldn't. I have to bring something of value to convince them to have a conversation with me, right, and start to build that partnership. And starting out, it was just a grind. Also, too, starting out back in 2017, at least here, I think in the Denver market, title insurance reps here in this Denver market were never really seen as a position of teaching classes and really like leaning into the marketing space. So I kind of had to carve out that niche and create that category. So a lot of people just didn't take me seriously. They're like, no,
Mm.
you're the bagel boy. Like show up, bring your bagels, and then leave, you know? And I mean, we've probably all been there and done that stuff, right? And to me, that just wasn't my choice of where I wanted to be. And I knew I wanted to get in front of people and do classes. So background, both my parents growing up, commercial real estate agents, commercial real estate brokerage. I'm from upstate New York, and I kind of grew up around that business. I was always working for my parents, front desk, answering the
Hmm.
phone, putting up signs, creating their flyers. At the end of the day, I've always been pushed in the real estate direction, but my passion is marketing. So I
Okay.
picked up a video camera early on and was just making videos, skateboarding, skiing, stuff like that. That's what led down that road into marketing, which led into me realizing I could use these skill sets and people could pay me. So that led into
Hmm.
a little boutique company, little marketing company, doing video, social media, stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm going to go in the title insurance industry and just lean into that and help real estate agents. And to answer your question, starting out, I did these classes and nobody showed up to them, right? And maybe people showed up, but I didn't figure out how to convert the meeting. Okay,
Mm.
and man, I just failed forward through it. I knew
Mm.
there were two options for me. It was either I'm going to make it in this business and I'm just going to continue to fail forward and try things, or I guess I won't make it and I'll get fired and I'll do something else.
Okay, thank you for that. Can you just, briefly bring us back into that scenario when you kind of first started teaching classes, right? These showcase events you talked about. What do you think was the thing that started to create momentum for you, started to get people to show up for your classes? Was it just the consistency over and over, or what do you think it was?
I think it was consistency and then not being afraid to try new things. All right. So
Mm.
my first classes, the idea was I'm gonna teach classes on video, the importance of
Hmm.
video and how to help real estate agents with their video and stuff like that. So it was a slow trickle. It was also figuring out how do I market these classes and how do I get people to show up to them and then how do I build that database of people or hack into that database of people like the MLS and just put it in front of people. So what
Okay.
started out as video led to me also realizing I can partner with other professionals, whether say, Ryan Hillard on this call and have him teach something. Or if it's some other professional in the space that has something of value for real estate agents. And what I realized was let's lean on different people who have different relationships and let's come together and then let's, cross pollinate our different networks and then continue to grow. So it was a slow move.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
but I realized you just got to keep doing them and slowly it will snowball. I'll
Hmm.
say this has always been my number one theme and goal is anything I do, if I'm teaching a class, if I'm hosting a class, hosting an event, my number one objective is that if Ryan, Jeff, Mike, Glenda, Janelle, whoever show up to my class or event, I want them to walk out that door and say, hey, that was either fun or worthwhile or educational. Without a doubt, it was worth my time. And if Jerad hosts another class or event, I would definitely consider coming back to another thing.
Okay. So I'm going to fast forward. Let me just close something out on my screen right here. And I'm going to go to your Eventbrite page and the diversity of classes. I'm going to share this briefly. We're going to talk about now, fast forward, where you are today in terms of classes. Um, okay, so let's take a look at your Eventbrite page. I believe this is it, if I'm correct, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got a few on here. Past classes 229. I'm not sure how far back that goes. Um, Upcoming 10 classes. So you've got some, let's just look at some of these classes. Uh, Residential real estate trends to maximize home, what is that? Purchasing or
That's a
something?
panel event. That's a
Panel
panel
event.
event.
Hmm.
So I do a variety of things. Every
Yep.
once in a while, I'll do a big panel event. Guys, that's oh my goodness.
Yep.
If you're not doing these, it's a huge opportunity because you get to run these things. You get to set them up. You get to bring in top producers in your market, right? You can reach out to them and flatter them and ask them to be on your panel. And then these things, man, they just sell themselves. right? I think
Hmm.
last time I checked, we've got about 175 people signed up for this. So these are a great way to grow your brand really fast, right?
Yeah.
If you're running it and emceeing it. So I try to do one of these at least once a quarter, because
Okay.
it's a great way to get your name out there.
Yeah, 100%. And to leverage those relationships as well, like you said. So, you've got Google, you've got divorce and real estate, beyond traditional renters, investing in sober living, Canva mastery, some of the same types of content classes that we have. What do we got here? AI, 10 Commandments of Winning a Bidding War. I like that. That's a cool title.
Yeah.
March Madness Hangout. What is that? Just hang out and drink at the bar and grill?
Correct. Yep, we do fun stuff too, right? Hang
Yeah,
out, have a
yeah.
drink, we post up, we do that every year. Come on out. So we kind of got a flavor for everything because it was funny. I sat down with a top producer. I mean, she does over 100 million a year, and we were grabbing lunch, and a light bulb just went off when I was having a conversation with her because she's like, "All right, what classes and events you coming up?" Because I was approaching her with the idea of, "Hey, I wanted her to join a mastermind group with me," and she's like, "Screw that! I don't want to be a part of your mastermind. What else you got?" I was like, "Well, I'm doing a dodgeball event next month," and she's like, "Well, I'll be there for that. That sounds great." And what the light bulb went off in my head. The point is like every real estate professional, whether they're brand new or they're a top producer, everyone's into different things. All right.
Yeah,
And you're going
right.
to pull in different people to different stuff. And I'm not afraid to just like roll the dice and experiment and try something, whether it's dodgeball, March Madness, ski train up to the mountains, class on AI, fill in the blank, because different people like different things.
Yeah, and if you go to, there'll be links in the follow-up email to all Jared's stuff, his YouTube, his webpage, which is killer. Everything is done at a high level, I think, from a personal branding, first impression standpoint. I want to get a little bit tactical, if that's okay. And
Do it.
guys, remember, you can start putting your questions in the chat. Um, because one of the biggest challenges, you kind of alluded to it, nobody showed up early on for your classes. Everyone who's been here for a minute has probably suffered a similar fate. Um, what would you say some of your most successful strategies have been for getting butts in seats?
Eventbrite.com, without a doubt. Eventbrite.com, guys, if you're sleeping on it, get on there. It's completely free to do. I think you can send like up to 250 emails a day for free. The secret sauce to eventbrite.com, in my opinion, is it all comes down to data and marketing. Anything, it's all data and marketing. And if you can get the data, right? If you can tap into all of the real estate agents, anyone doing X number of deals and their contact
Mm-hmm.
information, emails, right? We upload that into Eventbrite. We run emails to them. I don't know how Eventbrite does it, but they're very, very good at getting cold emails to agents I've never talked to into their primary inbox, and agents click on them and look at them. Because every time I do a class or event, I always ask the room, "Hey, how did you find out about this class or event?" Okay, I want to know what's working and what's not working. And I'll tell you what, like roughly usually 80% of the time, they get the Eventbrite email and they show up. So
Yeah.
Eventbrite all day long. If you want to take it to the next level, quick little easy thing, right? Realtors, at least here in this market, they're on Facebook, right? You can create a Facebook event. If you do the Eventbrite through event, you can actually click a button, it turns it into a Facebook event, and then boom, now you got a Facebook event. One thing I do, this is very time consuming, but I found it to be worth my time because I do so many of these, is you can on Facebook, you can actually categorize every single one of your Facebook friends on there. And every time I add someone as a Facebook friend, they're either a realtor or a lender, they go into a category. And if you do that, what's nice is when you put out events and create events on Facebook, you can instantly invite up to 500 people at a time to that Facebook event. So all I do is I tap into my 3,000 realtor friends on Facebook and just click 500 invite, 500 invite, and I just hit them out to them. And that's been successful too. Okay. If I want to turn it up even one more notch, I'm going to be running targeted Facebook and Instagram ads. And the way we do this, a number of different ways, but the more advanced answer here is we create what's called custom audiences, and we upload phone numbers and email addresses of real estate agents in the market, and we run targeted ads to just those people, and we just hammer them with ads about the event. So those are probably the top three things.
Can you share a little bit about what your, it's a hard answer to give because it's very contextual, but I'm thinking about your ad budget or spend for, are you doing it per event, or any comments around that?
For the longest time, it's been $1 a day. I'm a big spender these days. It's $3 a day. I just launched an ad because I've got 10 classes, events just for the month of March here. I was like, I'm gonna throw a little ad up. I'm gonna go hard here and do $3 a day. So metrics here, guys. Meta ads are I don't know anything cheaper in marketing. The way these ads work, if you set them up properly, for about $1, you can reach roughly 100 to 200 people with an ad. And we're not targeting random people. It's just a finite group of people, right? For this example, it would just be real estate agents, right? So if you've got a list of whatever, right? Say 3, 4, 5, 6,000 agents, in theory, say it was 5,000 agents, right? We can roll through that list pretty darn fast for not very much money and put whatever we want in front of them. Okay. I've been running these ads roughly about, I don't know, 6.5 years or so. And I can promise you guys that they work because I do it here in this market. And what happens is, yes, you'll get people to show up to your stuff, but I would encourage you to run ads indefinitely, at the very least at $1 per day. Usually we switch the ads up once per month and just build your brand and your identity and just put yourself, whatever you want, your message in front of real estate agents every single day. That way, one, you could try to do this from a prospecting perspective and try to get meetings. That's an option. But also, at the very least, like they're just going to know who you are before they even meet you. And it's just easier to convert them and build that relationship faster.
Are you typically running event related ads or like personal branding or both?
Everything. Yeah.
Everything.
I think, yeah, I've got a few, I got like probably 6 or 7 going right now.
Okay. So if you have an
Yeah,
event,
so
you'll
it's a
promote an
variety.
event.
If
But you'll
it's
also,
big enough.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Yep.
It's big enough. But you also do like the top of funnel stuff where you'll maybe put money behind reels or something like that to reach more people.
Absolutely. Yep. The reels, I'll run anything from value add stuff. I'll give tons of stuff away. I'll drive people to my Instagram to get them to follow my Instagram account, and that's been successful. I'll drive them to a landing page to get them on my email list. That way I can get them on one more channel. So I'll do, yeah, all of that.
Okay. All right. Do you to what degree do you like engage, and maybe you do so less, less so today versus early on? And so
Yeah.
as you're listening to Jerad unpack this, remember to put in the context of where you're at in your journey, right, with events and classes. Because I'm going to assume, Jerad, early on, there was a lot of hand-to-hand combat type stuff, right? Calls,
Yeah.
DMs, outreaches, all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to work harder, right, as you're building it, obviously, and then it starts to snowball. And
Right.
yeah, guys, I mean, it was a grind. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I almost quit. I was 18, 24 months into the business, doing anything and everything, and just wasn't seeing the results or getting paid the money that I wanted to, from how hard I was working. And then it slowly started to snowball. So it was a lot more outreach. I mean, I've still got kind of a targeted list of who I'd like to go after and reach out to them. I'm a big fan of sliding into the DMs, right? And I'm not aggressive about it, right? It's usually a slow play. It's building that relationship and liking and commenting and all that, and then kind of building that relationship. But I will book, if I want to go after someone, I'll do a ton through the social channels. That also kind of fits my avatar, right? My avatar would be real estate agents that do a lot of listings, because here in Colorado, typically the seller pays for and pushes the title insurance company. And they are open-minded to expanding their marketing, expanding what they could do on social media or in the video space, and they're possibly coachable, and I can
Mm-hmm.
book a meeting with them.
Okay. Let's see here. Promo process, guys. This is your chance to whoever's got a question for Jerad, tee it up now. You've obviously then built, I assume. Well, I mean, you as a title rep can access the entire database of real estate agents in the entire state, right? Which
Yeah.
is a nice advantage. I was going to ask you, do you also, are you building your own kind of opted in database of agents who have come to your events and things like that?
Yes. Yeah. So Eventbrite, right? I can download all those lists.
Right.
I keep them all and I have those at my disposal. I've also, right, I can get a list of any agent just about in any market in the United States.
Right.
If not me, I've got a guy who can do it for me. So yeah, I can tap into that, and that's the critical data that we need here.
All right.
That's going to help us fast forward that process.
You mentioned earlier you got really good at converting the meeting, so to speak. So, let's just say you get butts and seats from a class, whatever number that is. Could you just briefly walk through how you identify post-class who you do want to talk to and what that process is?
Yeah. So if I'm teaching the class, right? If we're teaching classes, the goal is to get to the one-on-one, to then try to build that relationship and ideally work with that person and earn their business. And if I'm teaching in class, the way I do things is I know that I'm going to deliver value, 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 give it all away. But then I always need to have something else, some other nuggets of value that I can give away. But you have to sit down with me one-on-one essentially to get that right. So value, value, value during any class, give it all away. But then typically there's always gonna be more stuff. One thing that I've done that has completely increased my conversion rate when I started doing this a couple of years ago is every class that I teach, I have a one-page fiscal handout. Okay. And on that handout, it's a sheet, right? And what it is maybe 3 to 5 things, 3 to 5 lead magnets, right? That I'm just going to give away as additional things to anyone in that room, right? So if I'm teaching a class on whatever AI, right, I'll be like, hey, and then like if you want my tutorial on how to do this or hack on this or download this, like basically the way I set it up is if you are in that class and you are serious about learning that information, it would be foolish of you not to check anything on this handout. You would be missing out. Okay. So typically everyone checks everything, give or so. And at the very bottom, this is the important part. At the very bottom of that handout, they plug in their name, their email, their info, right? They write it all out. And then I just straight up ask, right? Hey, would you like to book a one-on-one meeting with me? Yes or no? Okay. And that right there is huge because you'd be surprised how many people circle yes. You'll always get some no's, that's fine. But that is now your fast track into knowing exactly who right off the bat wants to meet with you. Okay. So then what I do is I take all these handouts at the end of the class, I go back, I will vet them. I'll look up how much production they're doing, right? I'll prioritize who I want to get in front of first. And then I will just start to reach out to them. And it's just so much easier, right? It's like, hey, I saw that you circled yes, that you want to meet with me. When do you want to meet? Right. And you have exactly laser targeted who wants to meet with you right off that.
How are you delivering the lead magnets that they choose?
Email.
Email.
Yeah.
Okay.
So email, that's where I start, right? And what I'll typically do is really lately, just because I've been doing so many of these things, I used to send them one by one. Now what I do is I use Gmass. So I'm a big fan of Gmail. I've got my email through that. I pay for Gmass, and what it is just a quick way of sending curated, personalized emails to a mass list of people. So I'll just take their name, email, push out these templated emails that I've already created. And then typically if I'm going to follow up with them, I'll just call them, text them, right? Hit them on all the different channels until I get a response.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Um, yeah, I'm just thinking about like kind of our process, what we do, and some similarities, some crossover, maybe a couple of ideas as well for
Sure.
improvement.
Yeah.
The
Do you have any suggestions on what I could be doing better? I'm always looking to improve too.
well, I mean, so you mentioned Eventbrite. I used to use Eventbrite back in the day as well. For us, we use
Yeah.
High Level as the platform
Okay.
for all the
That's cool.
marketing and email and landing
Yeah.
pages because there's so much
That's
else you can
legit.
do.
Yeah.
And for I've looked high and hard for an integration of Eventbrite and High Level. I don't know that one exists. Probably getting the API
Okay.
stuff over there, but
Sure.
either way, you're reaching people. You know, whether it's Eventbrite or it's another platform, it's about reaching the real
Sure.
estate agents. Um,
Yeah.
I'm curious though. So that's interesting. The physical handout, and then people are. It's kind of interesting because I used to do that back in the day as well at moving. It's like you hand out this thing. What we do? Hey, what was your one big takeaway? You know, what other areas of your business
Yeah.
would you like help with or whatever to identify those talking points, right?
Yep.
And then you just fill
Yep.
out their info, like you said. Hey, you want the lead magnet? You got to give me your info.
Yeah, physical handout. Because I've tried being fancy with a QR code or like passing around a tablet, and all
Mm-hmm.
it does is it just creates confusion. And I'm like, you know what, we're going old school, which is not me. I'm like, the handout works. You put it in front of them, you're not going to miss out on any potential lead. It's right there.
What do
They're
you
going to
do
fill it out.
for? How do you handle registrations or check-ins? Because we try and use a QR code too.
I don't. I don't.
You don't do check-ins?
I don't do check-ins. Nope.
Yeah.
That my handout is my check-in because you're going to
Oh,
fill it
interesting.
out if you're serious. Yep. My handout's my check-in. typically if I'm doing a class, typically or event, I'm expecting a 50% turnout, right? So if I want
Right.
30 people in the room, I need to get 60 RSVPs.
Yep. Hey, by the way, heads up, people. See what he just said? 50% no-show rate.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
half the battle is just getting people to sign up is easy. Half the battle is getting people to show up, right? So step one is just getting them the RSVP. Step two is the follow-up and how do you increase that conversion of people showing up to your stuff.
Right. And you're going to obviously continue to do it, build momentum over time. So you said your goal this year is to do, if I'm correct, 100 classes?
100 classes and events. Yep, did 92 last year, so I figured why not break 100? That sounds like a nice round number.
So like, that's a lot. How are you managing all that as well as you got to friggin', do all the other stuff you do?
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm going 200%. I really am.
Yeah.
Because I'm out and about. I'm right. I got a young family. I got 3 kids. I got twin girls who are
Right.
1. My son's 4. Right. Family time in the morning. And then I hit it. And then from 9 a.m. to about 4:30 p.m., I'm either in meetings or I'm doing classes, right? Or I'm on the phone. And then I'm home. I'm with family, right? Bedtime, clean up, and then I'm working. I'm back at it, right? I'm catching up from the day. I'm catching up on emails. I'm catching up on texts. I'm planning out what's coming up next. So, it's a lot.
Mm.
It's an ambitious goal. I might
Yep.
be hitting that point where I'm like, all right, it's time to hire in someone else. Is it a VA? What does that look like? Because yeah, I just want to grow.
What percentage of the classes are you teaching yourself?
That's a good question. I don't know that metric. Last year it
Mm.
was less. This year it's much higher because
Mm-hmm.
without a doubt, right at the end of the day, like I need to get more business, and the only way it's going to happen is if I'm teaching the class or event. If I'm partnering with someone else who's teaching the class or event, I expect very low return on booking a one-on-one. I need to be the person in the room sharing that value to get to that one-on-one. So I have a much stronger emphasis now with doing that. But with that said, I still find value in partnering with lenders, whatever, insurance people, fill in the blank, because I still want to grow my network and
Yeah.
see what they have to provide to offer. And then also too, the other reason why I do all these classes and events is at the end of the day, I mean, I'm 100% business development, right? I'm not, my team is handling everything on the title insurance side. So I should be hitting it hard. And now that I've built my business, and like I said, right, you doing 100+ deals a month, like it's a lot of people to maintain relationships with. And the only
Yeah.
way I can really do that is classes and events. So it's all wins all around. One, I get to see my clients, friends, right? 2, I get to meet new realtors, prospects, etc., right? And it covers both those spaces.
Yeah, and so I see a couple questions coming in. I'm gonna take your guys' questions in a minute, and I wrote down something. I want to make sure we get to how do you quote unquote partner with title reps if you're a lender. You and I talked about that yesterday on the call, the prep call, where title reps aren't engaging or don't want to partner or don't do classes, whatever. We'll tackle that in a second. But obviously, so Ron asked a question: can you gauge an approximate percentage of business that comes from classes?
No, no, I can't.
Well, put it this way: what else do you
Sorry,
do to
Ron.
market? Yeah, what else do you do to market yourself? It seems like this is the primary
This is
activity.
it. This is
Yeah.
the primary activity, right? At this point,
Okay.
it's classes and events and referrals. Without a doubt, too, like if it helps, I think even better than that, I will host my own stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's in a classroom or at a brewery or distillery or whatever, right? But without a doubt, the best thing I want to do is I want to get into that real estate office and I want to do a monthly class or something of value every single month. And that's the best thing you can do, especially if you can infiltrate that office. And then the business just comes, right? I'm seeing it now from the work I put into an office. I've been working now for about 13 months. And it just flows through. So to answer your question, Ron, sorry, I don't have an exact metric, but all my business these days is classes, events, or just really referrals, or just a small percent of me doing personal outreach.
With getting into a brokerage like that, and adding the monthly class, have you ever run into a situation where there's already an incumbent title company and you need to displace them?
All the time.
Yeah. So how does that happen, man? You outvalue them? Is that how it happens?
That's the goal. I think so. I think he's teaming me up here. Yeah, we got to add value, right? We got to add
Right.
value. Uh, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
that's my niche. That's my niche. The
Yeah. You
classes,
out
the
you
events, the
outvalue the other
marketing.
person. Yeah. I mean, how many people here have already done a class in a real estate brokerage where there's a lender inside that brokerage already? All right. I'm seeing the hands go up.
Yeah.
Right. So it happens, folks. Now, real quick,
Oh
Emmett
yeah.
asked the question again about the panels. I think what Jerad said earlier, Emmett, is he does a panel quarterly. The process from ideation to execution. You want to briefly unpack that?
Sure. Ideation, execution on the panels. Uh, who do you want to work with? Right? You get it.
Mm,
You have complete control over this. Oh my goodness. Yeah. This is now we go after the top producers, right? It's a great way to get your foot in the door. I mean, anyone who you think would want to be on a panel and share value, right? That could be any team leader, anyone looking to grow their brokerage, their team, any of the letters companies, EXP, PAK, REAL, LPT, right? All those that want to recruit and grow. You pick your top producers, you put them on that stage, you get to be the hero to them, right? And you get to spend time with them, and you can take it as far as you want, right? You can get together with them beforehand and prep what questions are going to go over. You can, have continual conversations before and after the panel event, which I
hmm
think is there's just so much value in doing these things.
Yeah, I mean, logistics is like I remember we've talked about this periodically throughout the years we've been doing this. Janelle, I know one that stands out has done a panel. It's to me, it's not that much different than doing a normal class. It starts with date, time, location, right? Topic, and then I would think the topic is going to influence who you identify as real estate agents.
Yep.
As long as you're following agents, you know what they're showing up as and those types of things. Like if you're going to do, like you go to his Eventbrite page, right? How to get your offer accepted or how to get more listings, or if it's social media, it's kind of like what other folks have talked about here, Tiffany and others, where like, for example, Jerad, what we've been doing is we have an Instagram class, a Reels class, for example, right? And if an LO
Yep.
is smart, they'll identify a realtor who's already showing up good with the thing. Instagram Reels. And
Yep.
then they'll call that realtor and say, hey, I'm hosting a class. You're obviously doing well with Reels. I'd love to have you come share your story, right, on how you do it. And then 9 out of 10 times, agents are like, yeah, I'll do that. I love to talk about me.
Yeah, and just ideas for you all, right? Exactly
Yeah.
everything you said, Jeff. I've done one on real estate investing. That's always a hot topic, by the way. If you guys wanted to go a direction, if you need one more idea, if I look at hundreds of classes, events I've done, anything on investing in real estate usually gets a good turnout. Divorce randomly every time I do a class on divorce gets a really good turnout. Yeah, and then the marketing stuff, of course, as well. And then also too, all my stuff, none of it's CE certified. I think a lot of people get caught up in thinking I got to get my class CE certified, otherwise I'm going to show up. No, if you have I think it all comes down to if you've got a good name for the class, right? That's number one, right? You got to hook them for them to even look at it and see what it's all about, and then you got to hit them with what they're going to learn and the value and all that, and then they're just going to decide whether or not they want to show up, and that's what it just comes down to.
Yeah. Yeah, very man. Oh man, sounds like a book I read. Success for Class. It starts with your name and your title. um, yeah. So classes are hosted, I'm sure, anywhere from title rep office to real estate office to friggin' Total Wine and more. You name it, find the venue, right? Shared workspace.
uh,
Yep. Oh,
Distilleries. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Distilleries, breweries, all that. Yeah. If I can get out of the classroom, that's always the objective, right? Keep it more casual, social, right? Get people to hang out after, have a good time. And then also too, I'm pretty scrappy when it comes to budget. So I think also a lot of
hmm
people, we get caught up on, hey, how much it's going to cost me? Or like, how much am I kind of floating here? I'm pretty strategic when it comes to picking my locations. And usually if I'm going into anything, there's a very, very small amount of money possibly lost if nobody shows up to this thing.
Yeah.
And you hit up, right? I mean, sure, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but you hit up all the spots around town that have slow business on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All my classes, events, I've found that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the days I hit either 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. I do 10 a.m. because that's enough time in the morning for real estate agents, hopefully, to get their lives together. And also, again, I'm scrappy when it comes to these, right? They should have already eaten breakfast, so it's one less thing to deal with. It's not that I don't want to pay for breakfast. I just don't want to go and deal with all of that.
Yeah.
2 p.m. is my other time frame. And the reason why is if someone has a lunch appointment, say they book a noon appointment, right? Any lunch appointment, in my opinion, is going to run an hour and a half. So that gives them enough time to finish that up and then get to my class or event.
Yeah.
These classes events, they're usually an hour, 2 hours max. Panels, I've done anything from an all-day event to a 4-hour panel. I think the perfect time frame for the panel is you do one panel and it's an hour or less. If anything, it's 45 minutes, and then it's 15 minutes Q&A from everyone in the room, and that's it. Otherwise, you start to lose people. People just start to leave. So just thinking out loud, those are some things. And then strategic partnerships, right? So partner with your title rep, partner with your insurance provider, right? Your insurance agent, broker, partner with fill in the blank, home inspector, roofer, mover. We've got a great moving partner, Jameson Olson with All My Sons Moving. She's incredible. And then, right, you're pulling in different networks, and then also you're splitting up the costs that it could potentially be for what you're putting on.
Yeah. So question from Christopher, if you're doing it at a brewery, are you doing green or something? How are you doing it, you know, in those less places that might not have a TV or something, or do they?
There's got to be a TV for me, usually. Yeah, unless it's a panel, right? Then you can do it anywhere. But there's usually got to be an AV thing. Or if I'm feeling really aggressive, I'll go out and get a projector.
Get a projector.
And
yeah, I've done that
work.
before too.
Yeah. As long as it's like dark enough and the projector is light enough. Yeah, I've done that too. So yeah, it's got to be usually an AV setup. And then yeah, most of these places too, right? Yeah, most of them do. And then also it's usually a win-win, right? Like I was just chatting with a distillery. I'm looking at doing a big event down in Colorado Springs. And I'm like, let's make it a win for both of us, right? Like if you're slow on a Wednesday afternoon at 2, let me bring in 30, 40, 50 people, and we're going to hit a bar tab. We're going to get you guys paid, right? We're going to tip you out, all that. Just give us the space for free and everyone's going to win. And we find places that do that.
All right, real quick, I want to pivot to partnering with people like Jerad. So how many of you here, just show of hands, do you work with the title rep currently to help you with your events and classes? All right, some of you might be in attorney states or whatever. The hands go up and down, whatever. Some people have, all I know is this, Jerad, as long as I've been doing this and people have been coming to these calls more than once, quite often, you know, I get the feedback from somebody, a lender who says, Sally at Stewart doesn't want to play ball. She doesn't want to do the classes. Oh, she said she was going to participate, but then she friggin' fell off the, like, how would you coach us through finding and partnering with somebody like you to put these types of classes on?
Oh, it's hard.
This is your colleagues. Yeah.
You got to find someone, you got to find people that are hungry, right? I mean, who are the people that are hungry that you see out there consistently going after it? Right. And they're not, how can they contribute? Right. If it's whatever, fill in the blank, financial aspect, marketing aspect, picking up the phone and just reaching out to their real estate network, right? There's huge value in that. I've been working with an insurance guy here, guy named Noah Taxman with Goosehead. He's just a hustler. He's still like relatively new into the space, but he's the #1 guy because he just works. And I love him because the value he brings to the table is he's not afraid to pick up the phone and just start calling realtors and inviting them to this thing. And I love it.
Yeah, those insurance guys are great with that. They love the phone.
It. Yeah. So to answer your question, you got to ask yourself, who's someone there that's probably already doing classes and events?
Right.
Are they hosting them? Are they teaching them? Right. And then just approach them with the concept. And then I think what's important, I think what I noticed a lot when I talk to other title professionals in this space is refinances are not booming right now, right? And that might be a reason why they might not be calling on lenders. And me, I see the complete opposite. Yeah, I'd love to get all your refinances. That'd be awesome. But at the end of the day, right, we're both going after real estate agents, right? To a certain degree. And I'd rather partner with you to tap into your realtor database as well as my database. And like, let's do something together. And the truth is too, I'm going to get paid. I'm going to make more money off of a resale versus a refinance anyway. So to me, I'm going after resale business. Refinances, I'd love them, but that's just a cherry on top in my business.
Very good advice. Very good advice. Guys, what do you got for questions I'm not covering? Help me out here. I see your comment about California. California, Jerad, you may know, it's kind of its own unique animal, right? I mean, with the regulations there and stuff, a lot of restrictions around that. So, but at least they can give you your people list. That's nice.
It's not a gamble. They don't even. They not only won't participate, they'll charge you if you want to use their conference rooms. So.
Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, I know someone out there, they can't even buy you a cup of coffee, I believe.
Right.
Yeah. It's tough. But then go to a different state like Arizona and it's gangster land and there's no rules and it's wild.
Yes.
So it does depend on the market you're in. I totally agree with that. Chris Gibson,
What
what's up,
about,
Chris?
yeah,
Real quick, Chris,
yeah.
awesome sales rep in Seattle. Reach out to Ashley Duran. She just switched companies. She's at WFG. She's a big hitter out there. Reach out to her.
WFG, man, my old stomping grounds.
One
No
thing I'll
way.
say too, just to pipe in, is that not all of Jared's classes are all like 100 people, right? Like we've done classes
Totally.
with 5 people, and
100%.
like I don't know what the average of yours is, but we've done it in front of 5 people. We've done classes in front of 200 people. But also, like you said, like just from being a hungry standpoint, like I think what you do really well is you also send out a monthly, I'm sorry, a weekly newsletter almost, right? And then, Mike, can you mute that?
Who's got the
Mike,
oh,
can you mute that, please?
Let me.
Thanks, dude.
There we go.
You sent out a weekly newsletter that's like, here's like a video on how to, right? So it's like instructional and you're giving something of value then. And also like, here's something else that's coming out with, like, here's the upcoming classes. And then, so it's like a constant drip thing where you're just kind of everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not afraid to have one person show up to a class or event because to me, I'm going to market to everyone and it's a touch. It's more touches, right? And also too, right? You guys already know this, that 1 or 2, 5 people that show up, they might be the best people that you want to work with. You can have more of an intimate conversation with them and you never know who shows up. I mean, I've taught a class to 3 people in the room and, you know, one of them's a $20-30 million producer. And guess what? You could have like 1 hour now with this person pretty much and really get to build a rapport with them, right? We're doing these classes and events to educate, to provide value, but really to just build rapport, right? So that's the other thing too, right? Is how can I not only present and share, but also build rapport with people in the room, get a conversation going to then more easily convert them to that one-on-one and continue that conversation and build that partnership.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right, guys, so far, what's your biggest takeaway from what you heard? Type it in the chat right now. Biggest takeaway, one action item you're going to implement. I want to see them flow in here.
I just think partners. I just think I had a very narrow scope on who could be a potential partner. Movers, like just hearing him talk about like there's somebody in your network that could be willing to partner with you, and it doesn't have to be a real estate agent or a title person.
Right.
I agree.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why I would go through the list like he did: appraiser, escrow, home warranty. I mean, you got home warranty reps out there, right, Joe?
We do. I need to find a good one.
Well,
attorney,
like
financial advisor. Yeah, the list goes on. Yeah. Yeah. And
Sorry,
yeah, the more you bring them in, the better it's going to be. Yeah. And that's another thing too, is on the panel events. Shoot, this next panel, I'm doing it with a junk removal company, the Junk Trunk. They do junk removal and they do rollaway dumpsters. And I'm doing it with a home organizer. Those are my partners on this one. And yeah, so think outside the box on stuff.
Yeah, I love the takeaways you guys have in the thread here for the chat. I think the bottom line is, if there was one takeaway I'm pulling of the many from Jerad, it's just do the effing work. Like, you know, do the events. We tell people, Jerad, it's a minimum 1 event per month. You know, that's the friggin' minimum. Now, some people do more than that. Obviously, you're doing a lot more. Some others come in for a period of time. They'll ramp up and do a quarter. They'll do 3 or 4 events per month for a quarter. But the point being is, let's go back to dovetail, like, you know, when you first started, because a lot of people, a lot of lenders, a lot of people in this room are in this situation of the problem is awareness. The problem is there's deals happening in your backyard. You're just not getting in front of them. And that's a process that takes time. You know, if you picture that pyramid of the funnel, top of the funnel is awareness or discovery.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, that's why I'm still, after all these flipping years, I started in 2003. Okay. That's, y'all know my story, right? I was doing the classes. That's what I shifted to. I'm still preaching classes, right? Even though social media has a play and it's part of it, but in terms of creating awareness, or Jared, I like to say running for mayor, becoming 5 Mile famous, I would argue, Jared, you're probably amongst the most well-known title reps in your area. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would. And for me, it's just not being afraid of being loud. I'd say probably about I was talking to Ryan yesterday, probably about 4 years ago. I just said, you know what? I'm tired of hearing about so and so, when people think of title insurance, and I want my name to be up there too, right? And I don't mean that from an egotistical way. I just mean it from like, I want it from a getting a more business way. I just need to be louder. I need to be on more channels. I need to be in front of people. And also too, it's benefited me. Sometimes like deals have to get pushed to my title company, Chicago Title, even if maybe that realtor doesn't have a relationship with Chicago Title. And I've earned deals just because I'm the only person that they know at Chicago Title, just from me being loud. So it definitely has multiple benefits.
That's fantastic. And you are in Tom Ferry's inner circle. Is that true?
Yeah,
Ooh,
a little bit.
A little bit. I
I
saw the video. You're in there to some degree. Okay, listen, before we run out of time, Jerad also said something earlier on. He talked about sliding into the DMs. All right, folks, as some of you may be aware, maybe you're not, we've been running this sprint for the last 5 days. And this is day 5, right, of our daily challenge, which is hit the DMs. And so your mission today, and we're going to extend this through Monday, right? All you need to do, this is how simple it's going to be. DM, connect an agent, have something relevant or meaningful to say to them. Look at their content, share something that would be impactful. Put a few minutes of thought into it, right? So do that. And then once you've done that, like Kurt has done here, let us know. DM's done, right? And why are we doing this? Because as you guys know, from the last sprint we did, we're stacking up cash points for people who get the most points, right? It's 500, 250, and $100, I think. So you heard a dude, Jerad here, doing 100 classes a year, crushing it. You're doing 100 deals a month, Jerad, is that right?
Over 100, yeah.
Over 100 deals a month. Now I know, like, equate that to us for loans. Like whatever you're doing now, the only difference between now and where you want to get is how many people know who you are, how many conversations you have, right? That add some type of a value. That's it. Yeah, go ahead, Christopher.
Yeah, hey Jared. So like I have a list of like future friends, people I want to get to know. I'm inviting them to classes. I comment on I go to their socials weekly and I comment on them. But what do you think about like the DMs? Like when you're starting to get into the direct messaging, do you start with more casual stuff, or is starting with an invite to a class too pushy?
No, that's a really good question. Say I just followed you, right? I wanted to target you, Chris, right? I'd probably start following you, liking your stuff, commenting on your posts, right? If you're posting stories, I'm going to try to find points of connection where we can relate on that, right? Try to get the conversation going from the stories into the messenger, right? And then just slowly kind of play into that, right? And then, and then if I can feed that into a class or event, that's fantastic. That's an easy ask. And that's also too, like sometimes I'll meet people out and about and they're not ready to have a one-on-one with me, right? So then the class or the event is the perfect next step. It just happened to me 2 days ago. The guy's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm like, cool. Well, like, hey, I'm doing this thing in a week from now if you want to come check it out. And he's like, yeah, I'll check it out. So I think it's right. Value ladder marketing. It's one step below that one-on-one. And it's an easier, hey, come check this thing out. Be fun or be educational, and start there.
I mean, what if I haven't had like the opportunity to like really strike up a conversation? Like, you comment and all that, but just shooting them, hey, your next class invite, like, is that too much? I mean, they're already on my targeted ads and they're gonna see my class invite on my targeted ads. But is it too much to just shoot over a personal DM versus because I find the call and text, they're just so inundated, it seems to be too much. So I just felt like a DM would be less intrusive, but is it gonna like get me iced out right away?
I think it's subjective, and you don't know till you try. I very much live by the mindset of you can't lose what you don't have, right? So you don't know till you try. And worst case scenario, they don't respond or they say no and whatever, you just kind of keep on it, you know? I mean, because at the end of the day, like if you're coming from a standpoint where you're not trying to annoy them, but you're just trying to provide value and help, how can they get mad at you? And then also too, what's fun about our industry, right, is right, whether you're in title, lending, or real estate, we're all in sales. Real estate agents have to respect the hustle, right? They got to respect,
Mhm.
hey, you're in sales, I'm in sales. Like we're just trying to work together here, you know? So I think that's kind of fun too.
Yeah. I think it's just like, you know, the old example of the waitress going around or waiter to offer coffee and somebody turns down coffee, right? It's just like, I mean, it's not a personal thing, you know?
Yep.
So I love the fact you also said that, Jerad. They appreciate the hustle for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we are officially at top of the hour. Man, oh man, guys, was this today? Was this valuable? This call? You glad you came? Woo! Round of applause for Jerad. Jerad, drop your Instagram in the chat if you want, because that's a great place to connect and see what he's doing. Let me just see here. We'll put it in a follow-up email too, but where is it?
Yeah, guys,
It's
thanks for
basically
hanging out with me. But everything's mile high title guy, milehighTitleGuy.com, and you'll find me.
yeah, absolutely. I would just say, guys, you know, put in the work. Look at we've laid, I think, 80% of what Jerad does is laid out for you here in our community. The classes, the content, the landing pages, the emails, right? The workflows that go with that, the tutorial on how to teach the class, the flyers, the Canva images. Like Jerad had to create that all by himself.
Yeah, I wish we connected sooner.
Right? Now he's off and rocking, man. So you can be your own version of Jerad. But all right, man. Listen, I appreciate this. We all got to go, guys. Get after it. Let us know in the group, by the way, what what one idea you implemented from today. And if you're going to do the DMs, like I just shared with you in the community, you want to go for the prize after today's call right now, go DM 5 agents and just jump in the community and let us know that you did that. Okay. Jerad, appreciate it, man. I'll be in touch.
Thanks for having me. Take care, guys. Bye.
All right, everybody. Take care. We'll see you on the next call. Rock and roll. Bye for now.